The year, 1938. Franklin D. Roosevelt was president of these United States. The nation was recovering from a scarring Great Depression, and the small mountain town of Boone, North Carolina was about to receive an historic gem, for this was the year the Appalachian Theatre would open. This glamorous Art Deco cinema premiered in the center of downtown Boone, in the heart of the high country, just minutes away from the up-and-coming Appalachian Teachers College. In the years to come, the Appalachian Theatre would become an escape to the fantasy worlds from Hollywood, with motion pictures like Gone with the Wind and King Kong vs. Godzilla, as well as an informative source of everyday news in the middle of a scathing world war. Then, 1950, fire. A popcorn machine accident sent the theater in flames, mandating a complete renovation and the loss of the theater's original 1938 aesthetic. Over the decades, the theater would prove to be a functional locale for film and live performance, until being purchased and gutted in 2007 by a potential business owner who was forced to exit the project for lack of funds. Now, after being left to decay for nearly a decade, a group of visionaries has bought the Appalachian Theatre from the town of Boone with a commitment to restore this historic spot to its 1938 glory. Now, as this treasured project marches toward construction, modern Boone awaits the arrival of this authentic piece of 1938. The emotions, the visuals, and the influence of this theater will once more be new. Mr. John Cooper and Dr. Frank Mohler are key figures on the Appalachian Theater's restoration team.
I'm John Earl Cooper Jr., and I am the chair of the Board of Trustees, as well as the chair of the campaign to raise money to make this project happen.
I'm Dr. Frank Mohler. I'm the vice chair of the Board of Trustees for the Appalachian Theatre. I'm also chair of the Design and Construction Committee.
Well, if you can imagine 1938, you had an Appalachian State Teachers College, a growing college, I think over 1,000 students at that point. You had in 1930, I think, a population in Boone of about 1,300 people. And so this theater was a big deal.
Back in 1938, of course, there was no television. The only way that people in Boone got national news, found out what was happening in Europe as World War II was beginning over there, was when they saw newsreels at the Appalachian Theatre. So this was really critical for what people knew about the world in what was still a fairly isolated town, and it had 999 seats. The entire population of Boone could see a show in 2 showings. For them, it was great because it was the biggest theater that they had ever seen, but this was big time.
They had 5 different movies a week. Sometimes after the movie, they would clear it out and they'd have live acts, both music or vaudeville.
Going forward, the theater will provide some of those same opportunities from the past, as well as provide venue space for the current population's needs.
But we're going to offer versatile forms of entertainment, movies, lectures, etc.
Ideally, we want to mix. We want to service the tastes of everyone. So we'll have some rock, we'll have some Americana music, we'll have opera. It was a movie theater when it opened. At least once a month, quite often more than that, it would have a show. We'll still be showing movies. What we'll be probably doing are film festivals, but also film series. During the summer, cartoons, and things for kids. At Christmas time, we will probably do things like showing It's a Wonderful Life and things like that on the big screen. Part of our goal was we want to be able to provide a home for local arts groups that don't have a home currently.
It just has a lot of potential for the university. Michael Fields, he is excited about it for a learning laboratory for the students, because we'll have live events and they can do the production work that they are training students to do. So he wants to have link ups so that he can both film and stream live events onto the internet or TV. And ASU has a really fine school of music, and they can have their students as the musicians and their opera singers on stage presenting recitals and the finished works.
The ideal theater size for a lot of theater and opera is 600 to 700 seats. The university doesn't have this.
Denise Ringler, director of the Office of Arts and Cultural Programs at Appalachian State, shares the theater's connection to the current culture of Boone and its surrounding area.
So we've already got these great venues, but I think what I noticed as an arts programmer is we've got the very large and the very small venues. We've got, Valberg is 330 seats, Rosen Concert Hall is 450, the Schaefer Center is nearly 1,700. What we sometimes are missing is that mid-sized arts venue, 600 to 700 seats. So many of the artists that we talk with about coming to perform here that we consider bringing in as visiting artists are kind of perfectly suited to that size venue.
Much restoration will be done on the outside and inside of the theater to reflect the past and embrace the new.
The architect said this will be the highest quality theater that we've ever designed in an existing building ×2. That's exactly the way he said it.
Our goal was to restore the outside of the theater the way it looked in 1938 when the theater opened, which was Art Deco and it was black reflective glass.
Well, we want to carry that special Art Deco feeling into the lobby. The proscenium, which is the part around the stage, and it'll have an Art Deco look. We intend to have that as a wow factor, so people will see that. It will be, we think, a good sound venue, good acoustics for live music, and just state-of-the-art equipment.
We are literally going to build an entirely new stage house. Everything from the proscenium arch back will be brand new, which means that can be pretty much state-of-the-art.
As with any project, obstacles are evident, namely raising the funds to make the restoration a reality.
It's a not-for-profit, but we've got to break even.
Well, the timeline depends on the money that we've raised. We've raised right around 2/3 of the money that we'll need. And that means that we've raised over $6 million. And we are going to really step up our campaign this year.
Probably the biggest challenge, I would say, is getting the resources to complete the renovation, the physical part of the building. And in order to do that, inspiring people about what this will become.
If we don't raise the money that's necessary to do what's required, we have to back down.
The theater's placement in downtown serves as the impetus to the intriguing strategic concept of a Boone Arts District.
Well, it's important for a downtown to be organized and to have all the things that make a great downtown.
It's usually several different arts venues that are all in pretty close proximity to each other, and they all do something a little different. But it's nice because you can promote them together. Well, we're in a great position to create this kind of concept of an arts district and to really use that as a way to define our community.
We had an economic development study done on what the Appalachian Theater will mean to essentially the high country, primarily Watauga County and Boone, once we open. And the indirect and direct economic impact will be about $4.5 million a year.
Permanent residents, students, and seasonal residents and visitors, basically everyone who comes to Boone, whether it's permanently or temporarily. I think people seek out this place because of the natural beauty of our region, because people care about the natural resources and the physical environment. And I think it's that same love of environment and sense of place that makes people attracted to the cultural elements.
As the theater nears the beginning of Phase 1 of its construction process, excitement builds for what will surely be a truly monumental space as new history is made.
We expect them when they enter the lobby to go, wow. And when they enter the theater itself to go, wow. And if that happens, we'll be happy. Although the most important thing, as far as I'm concerned, being as a theater professional, is not what the lobby looks like or the auditorium looks like, but what they see on stage.
It was such an important part of Boone and the Appalachian State Teachers College at the time, and I think it will share that same focus going forward.
The mountains, the nature, the culture, the music, the memories. We all have unique reasons for drawing closer to this beautiful area of North Carolina we call the High Country. Now, in the heart of the very place that encompasses what makes this region so dear to so many, we will have an opportunity to fall in love with its wonders once more, in a way that is brand new, but in essence has been here all along. The Appalachian Theatre.